Good morning. My name is David Garvey. I'm a content manager with Illinois WorkNet, and today we will be providing an overview of widgets on Illinois WorkNet. So what is a widget? A widget is a standalone application that can be embedded into other websites. And so Illinois WorkNet, we offer several different widget options, and all of these widgets are interactive, which makes the content seamless if it's on other websites. So essentially, we use widgets and maintain them on our side. And essentially what you would do is you would copy this brief code snippet and then paste it into your website's source code or HTML. And a programmer or someone from IT in your office would be involved in doing that, but it's easy to use and only takes a few minutes to set up. And so what this will look like is, for example, on this page here we have an example of the service finder in that on this web page for IACEA for education, locations, and referrals. So, we maintain the application that's being used, in this case, the service finder, and any updates we make to it will be automatically reflected on your website as well. So, we have the tools and resources, and, you can add this to your website, and, we maintain the, functionality of it. And so on this one page here, we have a list of the different widgets that are available, including IOER, which is Illinois Open Educational Resources. But this page on WorkNet here, illinoisworknet.com/widgets, you can see the full listing of the available widgets. And so, some of the ones we offer at the moment are the event calendar, the article viewer, the Illinois WorkNet job finder, which uses Indeed's API to show jobs that are in Illinois statewide that you can use to search for keywords, locations, job sectors, position types, and more. Related resources, depending on the resources being used, it'll be relevant to, maybe resume writing or, starting the job search, supplemental resources that you can help, provide to your customers. And so we mentioned the service finder where staff and users can locate local resources and organizations near them for career assistance or work support such as financial aid, childcare, and more. And within the service finder, that includes the Illinois WorkNet centers, other community-based organizations, state agencies, and many other organizations as well. And we also have widgets for the success stories that shows a collection of testimonies from different programs in Illinois that have had a positive impact on businesses, individuals, and our communities in general. And we also have the WIOA training program search, which makes it easy to use for navigating through different WIOA approved training programs and providers. We also have the WIOA board activity tool, which can be used to track members, events, and files for the IWIB, the Illinois Workforce Innovation Board, their subcommittees, task force, and more. As well as WIOA e-policy, which is a tracking system that's like an ebook that users can go through to review or look up policy for WIOA. And there's different filters and searches you can use to narrow down and refine your search results, and you can also print it as well. And so for these widget samples, for the event calendar, you can customize it to match the look and feel of your website and fit it within a certain space that you might have. You can see you have a few different options here for styling and filters. You can use a monthly view, a list view, or even have a condensed view showing a minimal list type. And you can even filter down to the different audience types, grade levels, field of interests, frequencies. If it's a weekly series or like a monthly resume workshop series, you can include that in your widget on your website as well. You have the ability to customize that. And we also have the default series. These would be events like Apprenticeship Week or National Mentoring Month, those kind of themed events that are related to a specific audience or idea. And you can select multiple audiences, grade levels, interests. Of those options there, you can select more than one for your for the calendar on your site. And so here's an example of the article viewer that we have on workNet. This would display kind of a thumbnail image and the name of the article, what part of workNet that it's tied to, and the date it was last updated. And so our articles there's a variety from career, training, employment, articles for employers, workforce partners, several different audiences for the article app. And here's the job finder that we had previously mentioned, where you can enter keywords, do a search radius, X amount of miles away from me, or even, city, state, or zip. There's some advanced search options as well. And now, while it does say, job 1 of 10 of 1,010 options, there are a lot more. I'm not sure why it's specifically that number 1,010, but we have done some testing and it updates, I think, with the most recent, but then, if it's on Indeed and you search for it, it should show up here as well. It is in sync with that. So that total number of results, for some reason it's capped at 1010, but there are more once you do the searches. And so the related resources widget that was mentioned earlier, this is tied to IOER, the Illinois Open Education Resources. And within IOER, there's several different libraries of resources that customers can use with IOER. It's not strictly Illinois WorkNet, so there will be some of those other resources. You can kind of see in this example here, we do have apprenticeship.gov. So there are, with these related resources, it's not strictly tied to what's on Illinois WorkNet, but it does open it up for a much larger collection of information and resources. In the Service Finder, we saw that on IACEA's website, an example of that, and you can include this with your organization's website if you're working with really any audience, schools, community-based organizations, different kinds of outreach for veterans, individuals with disabilities, homeless, and so forth. And success stories. So, from WIOA and other related programs and training opportunities that have had a positive impact on job seekers. and individuals exploring different career opportunities. That way, it provides some validity to programs that are successful in helping people, putting a name and face to a training program, which is, success stories, as are often used in annual reportings for Department of Labor. So we are always encouraging our partners to submit success stories, especially with over the last few months, the virtual job fairs on Illinois WorkNet, as well as the Coursera, the free Coursera online IT training opportunities. And so here's the WIOA training program search. You can customize this to filter to locations that provide, or that are WIOA approved programs and providers within your LWIA, or you could open it up to statewide. You do have that option as well. You can see in that larger image there, how this tool would appear in a condensed, smaller space. And the WIOA board activity tool, like I said, shows the WIOA members calendar events of previous and upcoming meetings or sessions, as well as documents, which you can refer to on your website as well. And you can set which page you default it to. So, here in this image here, it shows the calendar first, but if you wanted to show the members or the documents related files, you have that ability to do that as well. And then WIOA e-policy, if you have a lot of users on your website who are looking for information about policy, about WIOA, you can include this in here as well, which, like I said, includes notices, resources, references, documentation, helpful links, contact information for each of the many chapters and sections within the policy. And within the screenshot, you can adjust the width and height of the space it'll take up on your website. And so that's the conclusion of the webinar for embeddable widgets for our partners. You can go ahead and open it up to any questions you might have. You can share in the chat, or feel free to unmute your mic and ask any questions. Yes, a copy of the recording. This will today, actually probably before noon, this will appear on our YouTube channel, Illinois WorkNet's YouTube channel. This will be uploaded there, and then at the end of the week, we will send a summary email of the partner tools webinars that we've provided this week. That'll include the different PowerPoints and documents that were used in the presentations, as well as links to the recordings as well. So yes, we will provide the documents and the recordings. And with tomorrow being Friday, there is one more webinar in our series. So tomorrow morning at, just confirming, at 11 a.m., excuse me, at 11 a.m. there's going to be a webinar on the Customer Support Center and how partners can utilize that with their customers and kind of track their progress from surveys to resumes, following up and career plans. and other tools and reporting that are available with the Customer Support Center. So there's another question. In order to add the widget to my company website, for example, do I need to do coding or programming? So the answer is yes. Depending on the website that's being used, or the software, you may have to involve someone from your IT department or someone who has some experience with HTML. But it would be easy for them to include, if you know where you want to include a specific widget on your site, what space it'll take up and where. If you ask someone who is on your team who is familiar with that, then they should be able to very easily include that in there. So on this image here, this HTML code, if you wanted to embed the event calendar, for example, essentially what they would do is they would copy this little line of code here that's generated based on the different filters selected. They would copy that and enter that on the page that you would like for it to appear. And so it is HTML code and kind of maybe unfamiliar, but for a programmer, it would be a very quick and easy task for them to do. Any other questions? Well, if there's no more questions, we will go ahead and conclude this webinar. I will say, if you do have any questions, that you can send them to our help desk, which I'll put up on this last slide here. So if you do have any questions that come up, you can send them to info@illinoisworknet.com. And we will have someone from our staff follow up and assist you with any questions you might have. So with that, we will go ahead and close out, and I want to thank you for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.